Alright, this video will go over the ethical issues of artificial intelligence and our take on it. In today's society, technological advancements have a major influence on people. This influence has caused us to be dependent on our gadgets. Technology started off as small, but now there's a computer in everyone's pocket. As time goes on, our gadgets get smarter and smarter. Originally, the user had to interact with the gadget in order for it to do something, but now we have artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a system that allows computers to do commands on its own. With the freedom of making its own decisions, it has caused a lot of debates whether or not this is ethical. In this presentation, we will discuss the pros and cons of artificial intelligence based on real-world scenarios. Development and investment of artificial intelligence has many pros and cons in relation to human interactions. One of the major consequences of developing artificial intelligence is the widespread, sweeping unemployment that would be caused across the nation. Tens of millions of jobs across the nation are automated in one way or another. Some big examples are car manufacturers like Chrysler and Ford, cashiers at grocery stores like Kroger and Walmart, employees who package products at companies like Amazon or Frito-Lay, continental shipping agencies like UPS and FedEx, etc., etc. Human automation is the backbone of these jobs and is what allows these companies to thrive and profit, but at a huge cost. These companies who apply human workers to automate pays exponentially more money to keep these people employed rather than replacing them with artificially intelligent machines. If these companies were to all suddenly switch over to replacing their workforce with an artificial workforce, the result would be widespread unemployment scattered across the nation. This would be a catastrophe, but then it raises the question, what will people now do with their time? The introduction of artificial intelligence will have a major effect on employment in the country. Currently in our society, the majority of the human race must work 40 hours at least a week to make a living and survive. Essentially, what we do to survive is sell our time in exchange for money. Initially, the move toward artificial intelligence sounds like a terrible idea, but there can be a silver lining in the mix. Removing humans from the equation for low mental stimulating jobs give people other opportunities to explore their creativity. Relieving humans of the necessity to sell time to survive will also allow them to put their focus elsewhere in life. Being swamped in work is stressful on your health, and relationships with friends and families would suffer. If companies are willing to work with employees during the transition, that would be ideal. Teaching the non-skilled workers a skill would make them make use of how humans can choose between ambiguity, unlike machines. This brings us to the question, would it be ethical to massively move to an artificial intelligence workforce? The majority would answer yes. Personally, we do not believe that moving to an artificially intelligent workforce is unethical if certain conditions are met. For example, if corporations were to move to an AI workforce without implementing a way for the original employees to learn a new skill, that would be unethical. This would leave millions searching for work without any skills or qualifications. On the other end of the spectrum, if the corporations were to move it to an artificial workforce while giving employees an option to learn a new relevant skill, that, in our eyes, would be ethical. This would allow the corporation to save money by switching to an automated workforce and allowing humans to focus on other things in life besides work. Another area that we need to be focused on if we were to move to more artificially intelligent life would be security, specifically cybersecurity. A major consequence of developing AI would be constant attacks and we would have to try to keep the newfound power, per se, safe and secure. For example, developing a weapon system like unmanned drones or unmanned robot soldiers would be a tremendous boost in military might for any country. The development of new digital technologies like this always proposes a new threat to being controlled by another party with a malicious intent. A rogue hacker or an enemy country / insurgency could take over this new technology and ignore conventional rules of engagement. If this were to happen, massive destruction of property and casualties could occur, not to mention the economic impact that would come soon after. So how will we keep these technology from falling into the wrong hands? The movement into artificial intelligence will increase the need for security. A very serious issue would be rogue nations or radical groups acquiring technology or learning how to develop it on their own. This issue should be brought up in the United Nations to discuss the new global laws and rules of engagement for this technology. Also, certain nations that have radical tendencies should not be able to develop these technologies. For example, many radical countries are having soft and hard pressure applied to them in conjunction to the nuclear program. Certain countries that you cannot predict their next move, or that usually act irrationally, should not have access to powers like that. Which it would be the same in this case. Controlling who has access to this technology will allow for the human race to peacefully and continually coexist. Unfortunately, some may think it unethical to force other nations to not develop this new technology. Applying pressure to reduce or completely remove another country from developing AI is not unethical in our eyes. Our reasoning is that you have to look at the bigger picture here. When choosing who should have certain technologies, a rogue nation can wreak havoc on the human race if they were to have access to such technologies. The majority of the world would agree that it is safe to control AI. Rules should be in place that should be agreed upon by leaders of the human race, since artificial intelligence has the opportunity to affect everyone on the planet in a catastrophic manner. There should also be harsh punishments for thievery of AI from other nations to further dissuade countries from trying to steal information from other countries. This would be a start to allowing the human race as a whole to continually exist peacefully, as well as allow us to go to new heights. Finally, we can move on to one of the most hypothetical stages of artificial intelligence, but also one that is probably the most feared. The point at which AI becomes smart enough to think for themselves is not a new theory whatsoever. Hollywood has depicted many movies of AI going rogue and terrorizing the human race. The term for this is called singularity, which essentially means that humans are now no longer the most intelligent beings on Earth. Currently, some scientists have predicted that we will reach the singularity point by 2045 or higher. So this raises the question that should we make it illegal to start developing AI technologies like this? Since we are all in the STEM field, we all kind of agree that it would be unethical to place a ban on the development of artificial intelligence in general. Even though it could possibly put the human race at risk of extinction, it could also catapult us into a new era. Who knows, maybe humans might even merge with machines to become cyborgs and take their lives and existence to new heights. This all sounds great, but there's still a very real threat of the AI becoming smarter than us. We can't just pull the plug on a machine that's become sentient because it has most likely found a way to defend itself. We personally think that there should be some regulation in the development of artificial intelligence. Building in certain fail-safes can be a thought, or forcing developers to retire a machine after it's been active for so long are two reasons that we came up with off the top of our head. But as a whole, we think people should be able to develop and advance this technology within reason. Our final thoughts are: our concerns should we let AI take over everyday life activities? In our belief, we can just use it to increase our productivity and make our machines better. Considering all the benefits that AI has, one of them is making our everyday lives and machines more efficient. Like many of you have heard, AI collects data from humans every day to make tasks easier for us. A good example of this may be the self-checkout at the grocery store or at the grocery store. Those machines are there to make our processes faster, as we humans have designed them to do that. Think of it as when we write codes for any need. We write the algorithm to exactly what we want. AI works the same way. We can use it in our advantage to make data precise. AI can calculate and do things faster, just like a computer. It runs faster than the human brain and learns at a higher speed. Nowadays, we have robots that take over jobs that are too dangerous for humans. Robots that defuse bombs. They're not quite robots because they're being controlled. Imagine a robot that learns and thinks for itself. It could do these type of jobs without human supervision and make jobs more effective. If we were to design a machine, we should be able to manipulate and control it. And on the other hand, this technology can be dangerous if it's used for bad intentions. But we don't think it could ever take over. As the designers, we set the code to detect if AI is learning or doing more than it should be doing. AI is designed to make our lives easier and do what humans want. Sure, the ethics of some people will use AI for their own gain. However, AI can learn how to interact and solve problems in our social lives. The ethics of the programmer can influence the outcome of the situation, and artificial intelligence, in our opinion, should only be used for our control and our benefit.